Hi guys, I hope you're all doing good. This is Kola, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit TMI topic. I have somehow discussed about this topic on some of my live streams, but I think I needed to make a precise video in which I will talk about it in details, and also I just want to clear it because I think this is very important and I really want to talk about it. I couldn't even talk about this topic with my exes. It affected my relationships as a trans person, and it affected my dating life basically as a trans person. And I don't know how much of it will you relate to. This is my truth, by the way, and it's embarrassing, but at the same time, this is fact, guys. I have been living in this shame from some time, and I was too afraid to even communicate about it with my exes when my relationships was getting bad or something like that, because I was too embarrassed to talk about it. So now I'm going to talk about it on YouTube, right? Yeah, what better place to talk about it other than YouTube if you have something embarrassing to talk about. The reason why I'm talking about it on YouTube, because I know that I'm not going to find a potential mate from YouTube. I don't think so. So people who are like-minded, people who have been through the same situation, probably they can relate with me. It's hardly likely, but still, if you are one of those people, give me a shout out on a comment section, okay? So I'll talk about it now. Well, I want to begin by letting you know you need to wear headphones if you are not wearing any headphone. If you have family around or someone, please wear a headphone before you continue with this video. Just a warning, okay guys? Thank you. We all have some needs, intimate needs and all that. I'll try to hide those words as much as I can, the explicit words or something, but pardon me if I end up saying something which doesn't come up right, but English is my second language, so I have to struggle too much anyway to speak. Oh my god, how can I talk about it? So, I had been in 2 relationships in the past. The first one lasted about 3 years, and the second one lasted 5 years. I was struggling with intimacy, if you know what I'm calling intimacy, basically like physical need that a girl and a boy, or a boy or a boy, or a girl and a girl do in relationship, that type of need, yeah. The troubles that I had was, I'm a pre-op trans person, and I am attracted to men. I'm not attracted to females. I'm talking about sexually. I'm attracted to men. I struggle having anal. I'm very tight down there, and I can have it. It's not that I don't have anal. I have an anal, okay? I don't do top, by the way. I don't top. I don't know. I just don't do top. And I struggle with that because I'm tight down there. And yes, it's pleasurable for the person who's top with me, but with me it hurts. It hurts so much. Unless if I'm really ready and relaxed, that's fine. And if I'm using a really good lube, basically. But but mostly it's not. It's not the type of space that is accommodating. It's kind of an exit. It's not a entrance, if you know what I mean. Your anal cavity is an exit door. It's not a entrance door, okay? So if you're trying to accommodate something from the exit door, then you will have some complications, yeah? And yes, in the past I had some complications where I bled and I had some tears and what they call fissure, because obviously when somebody's big and it's going in a small cavity, then obviously it tears and all that. So yes, I had that issue, and it's fine when you are hooking up with people, but it's not nice when you are in relationship and when you're especially living with your partner. Because when you live with your partner, especially if your partner is filled with testosterone, because I'm attracted to men, unfortunately, so they need it more and more, and some of them take longer and longer, and with me it has relaxed a lot since I transitioned, and since I've got into a relationship with two guys. But before that it was too tight. After transition it's not as tight, but still very tight, and most of the time I don't enjoy it. Depends on the person as well. Like if I'm really ready, if I'm really into someone, if somebody's being nice and slow and all that, then yes, I'm fine with that. But I can't take it for more than like half an hour. And some people can go about an hour or more than that, and this is like really awkward. But at the same time I feel like, yes, we have to talk about it. Guys, most of our relationship ends because we are not sexually compatible with each other, and our partner thinks that we're not ready for, intimacy. But that's not the case. Half of the time our body, like we are ready, but our body is not listening to us. So that body is not ready. It's not relaxed enough. I don't know if it happens to women as well, when they don't feel like they want to have it, and they might be dry when they don't want to have it, I guess. I've never been with a woman, so I don't know. But I'm just saying, me personally, I'm ready for intimacy, like when it comes to foreplay and stuff. But when it comes to like intercourse, I don't think I'm ready as often, especially from the back door. And because of, thanks to hormones, not even from the front door. So like my sex drive has decreased since I started transition from regular basis to once in a week, or twice in a week maximum. But even then it is not as stiff. The anatomy, the frontal anatomy is not as stiff as it used to. It used to erect, it used to be very stiff. It's still erect and still becomes stiff occasionally, once in a week, but not on regular basis. And that has changed significantly. So I don't understand when people say, oh yeah, you transition, so your sex life will become much better and all that. Depends what do you consider sex life, because it gives pros in some situations, but there are so many cons in other situations. And no, most of the time you struggle, because for most people it's like quickies, and I'm not ready for quickies. For me, I need the environment, I need the candles, I need the intimacy, I need the body contact, I need lots of kissing before I'm even ready. And if I'm lucky, I'm ready. Although my body has become very receptive. For example, if somebody kisses me now, I can feel it more, because the skin has got a bit thinner, and when your skin becomes thinner, not thicker, so that you can feel the touch very, very much, basically. So yes, in that sense, my skin becomes sensitive. So if somebody kisses me or something on any part of my body, it's more receptive compared to pre-hormones, when my skin was harder, and I was not a very masculine person, but there is something different between men's skin and feminine skin. So yes, I can feel it more. But again, like I don't want anybody to sexualize transition because of it, because there are, for example, if there is this positive thing that, oh yeah, you feel more when it comes to the skin, but what about your sex drive, the very important bit of your your sex life, basically, of your relationship, of your hookups, whatever you want to do, your physicality? It is very important. You don't want that to compromise because of just some skin or something. So yes, there are some cons, there are some pros. I wish I was a biological woman. I wish I was a biological woman, so that I don't have to use the back door. The reason why I can't use the front door, the frontal bit of mine, I thought of becoming top, basically. I really genuinely thought of becoming a top rather than a bottom when it comes to, intimacy. But then I can't. As soon as I go close to the guy, it just goes down. I'm talking about close to the guy when the guy is on all fours, basically. I can't. The back door of any man or the front door of any woman doesn't give me any erection. Okay, guys? So no, it doesn't. And I don't know why. What am I going to call myself? I can't consider myself a bottom because I don't enjoy anal as much. I can't consider myself top because I don't want to top people, because psychologically that is something not right for me. Like, I have pleasure in the frontal bit compared to my back door. I have more pleasure on my frontal bit, so I would enjoy more of my frontal bit compared to my back door when I'm in the intimate moment. But with that said, I don't want to use my frontal bit for doing someone, I can't. Psychologically, that's not right for me because I don't feel like that's something, I don't know, I can't tell about it. I get panic. I can't. It goes down when it goes close to the ass, basically. I can't. So I can't be top. I can't be bottom. I can't be top. What can I be? I have considered having operation SRS, but the SRS that NHS provides in UK, it is penile inversion technique that is not appropriate for me because I was circumcised when I was a child and I have a shrinkage since I started HRT, which happens to a lot of trans people. So when it shrinks, and especially when you are circumcised, you don't have that much skin to work with for that type of operation. For penile inversion technique that NHS UK provides, you need a good foreskin for it. You need a foreskin, you need a good length for it, girth and all that, which I don't. And no, so I don't want to use it. What I heard about penile inversion technique, that it's not self-lubricating technique either. So I cannot use it because what's the point of having a dry thing down there? No. And the last time I discussed with my doctors and he referred me to a surgeon, when they give me consultation, the surgeon said, oh yes, after the operation you will have a good 2 inches depth. And I was like, no, I don't want to have 2 inches depth. What am I going to do with 2 inches depth? My finger is bigger than the 2 inches depth. Why? So, no, I'm not going to have that technique. I have done my own research, and what I found out, the appropriate SRS solution for me would be colonplasty or peritoneal vagina technique, peritoneal vaginoplasty. That these two techniques will be better because they are self-lubricating, you can have more depth, and they don't require your penile skin or scrotum skin for it. So yes, it will be much better if you're having that technique, and it's self-lubricating as well. Colonplasty is more self-lubricating compared to peritoneal, but still both are lubricating techniques somehow, and both are they're pleasurable as well. The depth is there, and accommodating. So at least somehow close to. It's still not like close to a real vajayjay, but still workable. I know I will not have 100% sensation after a surgery, as much sensation I have right now as a pre-op person, even though I'm not using it. But I'm talking about, I use it when I'm by myself, I help myself. So when I help myself, it's very pleasurable when I help myself compared to being with somebody. When I try to date someone or when I try to hook up with people, I normally hook up for the intimacy, basically. Because when it comes to just that part, I'd rather be on my own because I know how to please my own self. But when I require like a hug or, you know, intimacy, basically like body contact, then yeah, I would probably do a hookup and stuff. But it is complicated because the partners that I hook up with sometimes, or the partners that I am in relationship with, of course they need to achieve the end goal, which is obviously anal. Either doing them or either they're doing me, basically. And I'm not good for any of that. I don't want that. God, I can't believe I'm saying all that. But guys, the reason for me to tell you all this is because you might be going through the same situation. You know, a lot of people, as I said, they sexualize HRT and transition so much, they forget that there are so many negative side effects for it. And I did not transition for better sex life, basically. But of course, I'm a human being, and every human has some need, and they have physical needs, whether you're pre-HRT, whether you're trans, whether you're not trans, whatever you are, you do have some needs. But when it comes to that needy part, depends what your priorities are, it is very difficult to, you know, to find people, basically, who can do stuff that you like, because most of the people, they do stuff that other person like compared to how they want to be pleased. And I'm sorry guys, I have become a bit selfish after transition. I want to be pleased more than pleasing others. I used to be one of those people who want to please others, but now I want equal. And I do get people who are equally like, they like to give pleasure and they also like to receive pleasure. But at the same time, I feel like I am lacking in giving pleasure to other person when I can't accommodate them at the back door or front door, you know. So I feel like it's incomplete. That's why I feel like I should have SRS, but I can't afford private treatment for SRS because I can't afford the colonplasty or peritoneal plasty because NHS doesn't cover it, and I have to cover it by my own pocket, and I don't know how will I achieve that. In 2016, I had an operation for hemorrhoid, to get rid of the hemorrhoid. Now, a lot of people get hemorrhoids, fissure cuts, because of unhealthy digestion, because of, you know, constipation, whatever. That wasn't the case with me. I have developed hemorrhoids because my partner, my first partner, few times he was like trying to do me when I wasn't ready. He was not using appropriate lube, or sometimes he was going too rough on me. Basically, I developed hemorrhoids at that time. Even with my second partner, there were times in the middle of sleep when he and I had some fun. At that time, I didn't realize, but some of the times he tried to go without lube. Sometimes he used less of a lube, or sometimes he was going too fast and for too long, especially. And this is all contribute to hemorrhoids. So you don't just get hemorrhoids because of constipation or something like that. You get hemorrhoids because of this as well, because somebody's going rough on you at your back door. So yeah, you do get that problem. And I know it's embarrassing, just telling you guys how fantastic the life is after transition, you know. Yeah, you got to be ready for it. Having sex with back door is not easy. You got to be clean all the time. You got to have a douche. You got to do all the effort. Being top is so easy. All you need is shoving it in and doing whatever you want. But being bottom, no, it's too much hard work. You need to be accommodating. You need to be relaxed. You need to have lots of fruit, vegetables and fibers so that it's more relaxed and accommodating. And if you're in regular relationship with someone, especially like straight men, okay, for some people they can't call those men straight who are dating me, but still, for me, they are straight men. So those men, and if they haven't have a clue like how it feels like getting basically done by someone, they won't know how painful it can be sometimes when they're going rough or in certain positions and stuff. Yes, we can speak to our partner, we can try to minimize it. Sometimes our partner is more accommodating and understanding towards what works for us, what's not, but it's boring most of the time. You can't just play with it. You have to play by rules mostly, you know. Oh, if you're feeling like it, hang on a minute, let me have a douche first. Feeling like it, hang on a minute, I have just eaten a pizza. You know, things like that. You not normally a straight couple or heterosexual couple don't have to worry about things like that as much compared to people like me, because I'm not just a trans, but I'm attracted to men, and I'm not topping, I'm rather bottoming, and which is not working in my favor either. So that's why I am celibate these days, and I'm happy. I'm not missing it much, but I feel like I'm getting older and I'm not having any action. Although I want to have an intimacy or want to have action, but again, I feel like a pressure from men when I am with somebody that they want to do me, you know, and I feel like it's too much pressure, and I can't take that pressure because I don't want to do them and I don't want to let them do me either. So, what is there for them then? You know, I feel selfish in that sense, like when I try to meet someone, that's why I'm not meeting anyone. And I really feel like maybe SRS will solve this situation. At least it will help me have okay sex life, maybe. It may not be as pleasurable as the frontal bits, but right now the only time I receive pleasure from frontal bit is when I'm by myself, right? When I'm not with a person. So at least with SRS, I'll be with my partner, and then while I'm receiving pleasure and stuff, or still whatever it is. But I'm very skeptic about it. And I don't have enough money. Again, I don't have enough money to pay for this treatment privately because NHS don't provide this type of surgeries. I don't know what's in my future. I heard on YouTube so many people talk about butch surgeries, and you know, they're not getting the right type of surgeries. That's scary. But at the same time, living like this is not good either. And you know, right now I'm talking to you guys about it, but what am I gonna talk to men? Like, I can't explain to every man what is my problem, basically, because I don't want to keep outing myself, like telling everyone, yes, this is my problem. That's why I don't want to have my back door explore, so that I don't get hemorrhoids again, or I don't feel like that I want to do you as well. So no, yeah, this is funny. I wish I had a better solution for it. And when people ask me like, you know, how you are pretty, how come you're single? Mate, you're not in my shoes. If you were in my shoes, you would know. You know, I can get someone. It's not a problem of getting people. I can still perform a really wild, good, intimate scene, whatever scenario. But what will I achieve out of it? Pain? I don't want that. And I know, I just don't. I don't know what to do, to be honest, guys. I don't know if you have been in this situation or not, because I've seen some, you know, and by the way, trans corn, I'm not gonna say the P word, okay, corn, I'm gonna say corn, flour, corn, okay? It doesn't help. Trans corn doesn't help, because people, guys, normally see that and expect that from me, and I'm not like that. I don't know how they actually are doing that. They may be having just top surgeries or surgeries that they probably are not on hormones or maybe on drugs or something, and then they're performing that performative video, and people are just thinking or fetishizing that, oh yeah, that's how trans people are like, but that's not true. We are just like everybody else, basically. When you transition from male to female or female to male, your body functions more like it. You know, your body functions more like it. You may not be biologically born a certain way, but you can certainly feel like it. You can certainly feel it. Some people feel it more, some people feel it less, depending on the severity of their gender dysphoria or their mental state, whatever it is, or their thoughts, their thinking. But you will certainly feel it because you are now living that life. So if people are expecting me to be performative as they see somebody in corn films or something, then I'm sorry that they're not gonna get that. They're gonna get something good out of me as well. But would I want to risk it? No. Especially when I'm not feeling it, when it's not working out for me either. Like, you know, I wish you all best of luck finding the right person for you. But meanwhile, I can only give you this advice. If you are in my situation, use a good lube. If you are going for something like that, use a really good lube. There are certain lubes that are just watery, but they'll still give you pain. There are certain lubes that can actually really help you get rid of the pain. So use them once. And if you're going for surgeries, do your research well, what is right for your needs, for your body, before you go and decide, because otherwise you're going to regret it. And lots of detransitioner talk about, you know, butch surgeries and all that. So try to avoid that. Try to have some patience, don't rush for it, and do your research properly. Don't get inspired by people so quickly. Look after yourself, guys. I wish you all the best with your transition. Like and subscribe. Thank you very much. Bye.